Hey, welcome back, everybody. We are still at the City of Scottsdale's All Things Senior Expo. We are holed up here, up into the mezzanine, and joined by the Russ Lyon Sotheby's International Realty Group. And Karen, talk me through, you guys here at the show, you have a very unique approach to how you guys are looking at real estate. I know we've had a couple of off-camera conversations, by the way, everybody, just to sink it. Welcome in. This means a lot to me. You understand NASM, you understand some of these other aspects of senior move management. Talk to us about your guys' approach to the real estate process.
Well, our approach is that we're very hands-on working with our clients, senior clients, and their families. And we like to be involved with guiding a process for them to make a transition. So in a sense, we're transition specialists.
Yeah.
But as I said, we're very actively engaged in managing all aspects of the process and letting our clients make a decision about price, about location, what's best for them. And often with a family, you've got disparate opinions.
You sure do, right? And there's a couple of things I think we notice. One, almost everybody has an opinion. Not everybody's going to pull any work. There's only a couple of people that step up. When you guys are starting a conversation, obviously the real estate transaction is mom and dad. It's whoever owns the home, right? There's a legal component to all of that. What's the role that adult children play in this process?
Well, it can be anything from just wanting to help their parents make a decision and guide them to making the decision for them. But also there's sometimes more than one child involved.
Yeah.
And as you were talking about, you might have differences of opinion and trying to navigate that. Ultimately, we want to help them get through the process, get the most money for their home. And that's really what we try to do.
Well, and there's a look that, go ahead, you were going to.
Yeah, I was just going to say, so there's a process, as Jim said. So one of the things we'll first do is, like, let's say a lot of family members, they're either working today or they live out of state.
Yeah.
And so they need an advocate. They need a quarterback. So Jim and I work together and we complement each other. So what we usually do is, if, we'll set up a call with them. If we can meet them personally, we will. Otherwise, we'll set up a Zoom call with them.
Yeah.
And then we'll go through an introduction, and then we'll start talking about our process. And one of the things we do is we will go into the home together, and I will make a list. And the list is for the family members in terms of what do we need to edit and stage. Mm-hmm. And then what I'll do is I'll also make a list for myself. Maybe, look, maybe the mother's had linens from, that are 20 years old. So I have linens, I have accessories, I have rugs, I have lamps, and I have art. So I'm going to eliminate, like Aunt Shirley. We had an Aunt Shirley, 91 years old. She's going into memory care. Yeah. And the nieces and the nephews are taking care of the house. And that memory care is going to be paid for by the sale of the home.
That is, I think that's probably, if you haven't thought about that at home, it's definitely one of the biggest points. It's the elephant in the room. That's what I want to say.
Exactly.
Right. By and large, we're seeing homes are the largest retirement asset that sits out there. Being able to tap and to get into that, and you are, as a family member, if you had an emergency that led into the transition in the front end, you may already be tied up with a lot of financial obligations that are coming at you, at you pretty darn quickly. How is when somebody's moving in an older age, what are some of the unique things that a family should prepare themselves for in that process?
Well, I think part of it is, allowing, first of all, you're overwhelmed. You're trying to figure out what's the best place for the family member to go to, and you need resources for that, right? Yeah. And then you're also trying to figure out, brings us to another question, what are we going to get for the property? Now, when Jim and I go through a house and we're editing and staging it, that actually, I had to laugh. We were talking to a woman today, and she said, well, I'm thinking about selling my house, but I'm going to tell you now, I'm not going to take down the 150 pictures of all the family. I said, if I could give you $3,000 for all those family pictures you take down, would you take it?
Yeah, well, that's a great aspect.
And she's like, well, yeah.
Yeah, right,
Can
right,
you do
right.
that? And I'm like, you want them to see the bones of the house. You want them to, you want person who looks at the house online to say, I can envision myself there.
This
or
is that's where my picture
I love the
is.
location. I love, I
Yeah.
love the bones of the house. And,
Yeah.
and so when they come in, we're going to make sure it shines.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fantastic.
Even if they don't want to paint or renovate or whatever, we want it to look the best of the best that it can.
Yeah.
Both on the photographs, when they see it on the MLS, and also when they walk through the house.
And that takes a special touch to have those types of conversations.
Exactly. And when should a family call us?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, when there's a need and a decision that there has to be some kind of a transition made.
Okay.
And sometimes the family's out of town. As Karen said, Aunt Shirley's niece and nephew were living in different parts of the country.
Sure.
And so we have resources as senior real estate specialists. We've built a directory of all kinds of resources.
Yeah.
1 for the people, 2 for the property, and 3 for professionals that might be involved. So if somebody doesn't know how to navigate the process here, we can work alongside them and give them some names that they can choose from.
Yeah, great.
And these are people that we've vetted.
And you guys have been around. You've been around the valley, long enough that you understand the real estate market. What's up? And now, so last question. We'll kind of move through. Mike, you've got a family home that's selling, and let's say one of the sons is a real estate agent. He's good. Why should they be looking at somebody else to sell the real estate?
We'll let the kids fight that out. Maybe they're going, we don't want you to make the commission on it or whatever.
And that's usually the conversation, but where do those go wrong?
Well, you know what? The problem is when you're dealing with your own situation, you're too attached to it.
Yeah, I think you have to.
And you really need a professional who does this day in, day out, who can help you guide you and be realistic with the price. You want a range of value to get the most money possible. We have a tendency when we're too close, we want, our house is worth whatever. But you need somebody who's going to come in and say, you know what? I call it the fine wine theory. Wine gets better with age. Real estate doesn't. You actually make more money if you have it professionally edited, staged, photographed. Use professionals like Jim and I who do this day in, day out.
Yeah.
And by the way, if that family member's a realtor, we'll be happy to work with them and give them a give them a 25% referral.
Yeah.
And then we get to do all the work. It's stressful enough.
It is.
You're going through a lot of emotion when you have a family member who's, making a major transition. We're here to, as Jim would say, we're here to relieve stress. That's our job.
Where do people find? Where can our audience find more information about you guys, and where do we find you?
Well, Karen's got a website.
Okay. It's Karen Supman Realtor.com.
Okay.
And we also have Facebook pages, and mine's just Karen Supman, and on Facebook. And you guys are in what area of the valley do you like to practice best?
Well, we'll practice anywhere.
Okay.
We've gone from Gold Canyon way out west the other way.
Yeah.
Chandler.
But
Sun City.
Yeah.
So we don't specialize in a certain sub-market, but we happen to work a lot in Scottsdale and north-south Scottsdale.
There's also one quick thing I want to mention too.
Yeah.
Unlike a lot of other agents, I actually can help them find auction houses to sell high-end stuff. So if there's high-end art, if there's, crystal, like Dom Crystal from France. We just had a client recently. She had beautiful Western art that was worth thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
I got, Scott Larson Gallery involved, and they had an auction. She sold some stuff there. We sold some furniture for her through, Russ Lyon Sotheby's. We sold some crystal for her in an auction house in New York. I take photographs. I send those things out. So a lot of people, the family wouldn't know necessarily where to go.
Right.
We do that, and
Well,
that's
and
a
having that
value-added service.
yeah, having that relationship at that right time when those come in.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you guys stopping by and
Thank you.
Thank you.
getting us started up. It's a pleasure. This was great for me to get to meet you. I look forward to
Sure.
talking to you guys
Yeah,
a lot more here
we do
over the
too.
years. And we'll see you,
Absolutely.
I'm sure, year after year. Keep coming back here to the expo.
We
Yeah,
will, and the senior market is phenomenal.
it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah,
You know,
isn't it?
Karen and I laugh and say, because we're a certain age, we seem to, be focused on the senior market. In reality, a lot of people in our database that are friends of ours, they're around our age, and it's
Yeah.
been a pleasure to work with them and their families.
And the last thing is we treat them like family. We adopt them. So by the end of the sale, they're not just a transaction to us. They're, we care about them.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you
Well,
guys
thank you.
sharing your time, talents, and treasures with us.
Thank you.
And we will be back. We're closing out the rest. We've got a couple more that we'll talk with here as we come to you live from the 2023 City of Scottsdale's All Things Senior Expo. Stay tuned.